Hello, and welcome to How to Build a Grappling Dummy. Looking around, I've noticed that most people are making dummies out of wire hangers, pipes, and pool noodles. I wanted to do something a little different. If you want to build a grappling dummy with realistic working parts, then you're watching the right video. This video will show you how to build a wooden dummy at home for about $60 or less. My goal when I developed this dummy was to copy the human anatomy to get the most realistic training possible outside from training with a live partner. I wanted a locking elbow and knee joint, and shoulders and hips that could swivel and allow for a full range of motion. This dummy is now a functioning piece of equipment that can be customized and adjusted to train a variety of grappling techniques. My goal in this video is to show you how to build this dummy yourself using a few simple tools. You will need a handsaw or an electric saw, a drill and drill bits, a hammer, a chisel, various nuts and bolts, wood glue, and finally wood. Any kind of wood will work. For this video, I'm going to use 2x4s. The main key to this whole dummy is spline joints. Let's start by making an arm. I used the measurements of my own body to determine how long the parts of the dummy should be. First, I'm going to saw this board into two pieces right down the center. You can save time by asking a hardware store to cut your wood for you, depending on where you buy it from. Now that my 2x4 has been split down the center, I have the pieces for the forearm and upper arm. Here I am tracing a spline joint for the elbow. We need a female slot and a male tenon. The joint should be wide enough to fit a chisel, like this one here, and about as long as the board is thick. Now I cut the sides away from the male tenon at a 90-degree angle. The female slot is a bit more tricky. First I cut two slits straight down at 90 degrees. Then I cut across the slot from one side to the other, remove that piece of wood, and cut across the other way. That's all I can do with a regular saw. The rest can be removed with a chisel, leaving a rectangular slot. Next, the tenon goes into the slot, and I trace a drill hole on the side, right in the center. Drill straight through the slot and the tenon and fasten them together with a bolt. I am using a 3/16 inch carriage bolt. Try to cut your slot and tenon so that the joint fits tightly. Now, if we want this to bend like an elbow, we need to trim away the inside corners of both the slot and the tenon at a 90-degree angle. So next, I will trim away the parts marked in black. After those corners are trimmed away, we have an elbow that locks straight and bends up to 90 degrees. A real elbow bends more than 90 degrees, so we need to trim another part of the joint. First, we need to cut an angle in the slot on the inside of the bend. That can be done with the chisel. I am tracing that angle on the side so you can see it. We also trim an angle into the sides of the tenon on the inside of the bend. See how those two parts touch when I bend it? Remove the two parts and it will bend further. Here, the piece on the left has already been trimmed and is able to bend more than the other one. Figuring this out might take some trial and error to get it right, but it's okay if you end up cutting too much off. You can always use wood glue to glue pieces back on and fix your mistakes like I did here. The rest of the arm works the same way. The wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder are all made from spline joints. The same goes for the legs. The ankle is a modified spline joint that allows for a heel bone to stick out like a real foot. The knee and hip are made the same way as the elbow and shoulder. Let's talk about the main body. My original dummy seen here started out as a huge log that I cut into a rectangular column. You could also glue a stack of 2x4s together to make a body. Wood glue is surprisingly strong. Just use plenty of it and either clamp your boards together or put a heavy weight on top to compress the boards while they dry. I added a spline joint to the midsection of my dummy so that it could have some flexibility there. I also cut out 4 small sections of the body where the legs and arms attach to give it a more natural feel. The head is just a big wooden block attached to the body using the neck from an adjustable lamp. You can use a hacksaw or bolt cutters to cut the lamp into pieces, then drill a hole into the head and body and glue it all together. If you want your dummy to have a realistic arm movement, then you should give it a swiveling joint. Here's how I made the shoulder. First, make a slot just like we did for the elbow, then cut it off a few inches back, leaving a short piece. Next, you will need to drill a hole straight through the center in order to allow a bolt to fit through. I am using a 5/16 inch carriage bolt, so I drill a 5/16 inch hole. Now the head of the bolt is in the way of the tenon, so you will need to come back with a bigger drill bit and drill a countersink deep enough so that the head of the bolt drops down inside and out of the way. I chose to glue my bolt into the joint using epoxy. That secures the whole thing together into one solid unit. Now I am going to install a T-nut on the main body for the shoulder joint to fit into. I'm using a 5/16 inch T-nut that will match the bolt for the shoulder joint. First I need to pre-drill a hole in the shoulder. Then I remove a rectangular section about 1 inch thick and hammer the T-nut into the pre-drilled hole. finally, I need to glue the rectangular section back into place with the T-nut on the inside. Make sure the gluing surfaces are flush and clamp it on while the glue dries. Now you will have a shoulder joint that can swivel freely. Be sure to screw it in most of the way when training to lower the chances of bending one of your bolts. I can also recommend installing a swiveling joint above the elbow if you want to practice shoulder locks. This will give the arm full mobility. You will want to work with your dummy and refine it a bit before you add foam padding. I was able to find all the materials for this at my local department store in the craft section. If this is your first time working with wood, take it one step at a time. Sand the rough parts as you go. Feel free to post any questions in the comments section, and I will do my best to help out if I can. Please keep in mind that this is a prototype, so there's lots of room for improvement. I would like to see your videos if you make this dummy or use any of these ideas. Especially if you make an improvement to the design, please post a video response. I hope this video helps you, and I hope this dummy helps you as much as it has helped me. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.